I'm Leighanne. I'm an SEO specialist, SEO manager, here with Amanda, the great Amanda. And today I think we're going to be talking about the differences between freelance and full-service agencies, get a little bit into the benefits of multi-channel marketing, and finish it up with some strategies and some data behind those strategies, why it's important to be tracking that sort of stuff for your marketing. So we both have experience with freelance and agency jobs, so maybe we can both talk about kind of our experience with those if you want to kick us off.
Yeah, so I haven't been a freelancer for like a long time, but I did dabble in it a little. So yeah, being a freelancer is, great. And I think that a lot of companies can benefit from them, but there's, a lot of gaps that are there, compared to full service. I think, there's like a big misconception of, businesses hiring freelancers to do work that they might need, but a lot of times there's like not a full personal connection. And, I can also admit it, like me as a freelancer, I used to do social media on the side for a supplement company, protein powder. It was great. And I obviously did the best that I could for them. But when you are a freelancer, it's very much, you're just there to do your best and that's it. And a lot of times freelancers do have like other full-time jobs or many other freelance jobs. So, there's definitely, there's great opportunity there if you need like something, just one thing done, maybe. Like social media that, can sometimes be really surface level if that's just what you need. But with bigger businesses or, companies that really are wanting to take a more cohesive approach and need help in like multiple areas, there's kind of like no other choice but to hire a marketing agency because, working with multiple different freelancers in different categories just gets messy and none of them are communicating and none of them are talking to each other and have the same strategy most likely. So it's not a good way to market your business if you're trying to like reach real measurable goals. And I feel like a marketing agency, full service, is obviously what we do here. And we really make a point to be really personable with our clients and understand them deeper and make sure that we are doing the best possible things for them that are really in their best interests. So,
that makes a lot of sense. And I did freelance after I'd actually worked at my first agency. So I didn't like start in the freelance world, which I know that some people do start off that way, or they like kind of teach themselves marketing and go from there. So I think there's like a downside a little bit to being a freelancer just from a personal experience as well. Like you don't always have other people to talk to about strategies, which can get very... like it's lonely kind of to be learning everything yourself. And I think that's a huge benefit, not even from the, like how you serve clients as an agency, but how you personally are benefited working in an agency. Cause you get the benefit of talking to a lot of people that obviously know a lot of the same things or maybe know more. You have the ability to teach people stuff that you may not know about. So I know that's kind of on the other side of the coin. Like, how do I benefit? Which is kind of different from where you're coming from. But I think with freelance also, there's not as much work, which is why you have to have a lot of clients. Generally, like SEO is not rocket science. It doesn't take a million things to make it successful. So as a freelancer, you might not always have something for clients, which makes you have to have a lot. And then there's not as much of that personal touch versus with an agency, that there's like generally a team working on your campaign. There's a lot of different areas that are being touched, whether it's, SEO, ads, content, all that stuff, websites. So I think that's kind of not necessarily downside, but a difference to being freelance versus at an agency?
Yeah, I think there's some freelancers out there like that. They do a really good job. You know,
definitely.
They do. But I think there's just a lot of time, like just a lack of strategy or like organization, you know? And, you know, if I had my own company and I was going to hire a freelancer for SEO, like that's great. But there's still like, there's not that customer service or like, there's not that more like that, just full package of like, I know I'm being cared of? What words?
Yeah. Taken care of, cared for.
I mean,
we got there.
Yeah. I think I said it right the first time and then just like, I don't know. But yeah, so, you know, when you hire us as a company, like we talked about this before, you're not just getting like your awesome strategies, you're also getting like Tom and you're also getting Chris or me or Bree, you know? So it's a full package. And even a lot of other agencies like don't do that well.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of agencies still have like that freelance mentality of like, let's just go in and do a job, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like we do take really good care of our clients for sure. I mean, I at least make a point to do that, but
yeah, I think that's very obvious with your work as well. Just having worked with you and how you interact with clients is great. And I think that's, I'm sure there are great freelancers out there, no doubt about it, but it's just a different experience. And if you have like, sure, it's a little bit more expensive to go to an agency, but ultimately I think your marketing is better for it because you have a ton of people at your like beck and call essentially. Yeah. Like there's tons of people there for you.
Yeah. If you like, you're not going to get a response from a freelancer at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, like if a client emails me and they have a question, like, and I have an answer, I'll email them back, you know, like that sort of thing goes a long way. Because it's like, it's their livelihood and it's their businesses, and, providing that customer service right out of the gate is like, it's unmatched. Like you can't get that a lot of places, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great. Love it. That kind of can take us into our next topic about like why the multifaceted approach is very important for marketing in general. And obviously Beyond Blue Media is a great opportunity for people to get all of those areas of their marketing covered. Versus my other agency that I came from before I worked here was like strictly SEO only. So a lot of people were spending quite a bit of money on just their SEO services, and we didn't offer anything in regards to social media ads. And so people were then having to find other resources for those. So they're having different providers of services, which I think can cause a bit of a disconnect. Kind of on the same length as freelancers, there's a disconnect between, you know, you and the client. Versus when you're working with a full service agency, it's like everybody is involved. Everyone is understanding of where the campaign is going, like what your goals are, what types of like revenue you want to see, what are leads, what are not leads, how does the website look, how does that translate for SEO success and ad success. So I think just coming from like my first agency was full service as well, but then going to just SEO was like a big shift in terms of like it felt like kind of a disservice to not be able to offer those other things that people are obviously looking for marketing. So it's like good. I don't know. There's good and bad things I think about being one service or being a full service agency. Yeah.
Do you feel like what was that like when like for an because I have personally like never. I mean, I did. One of my last jobs was just like all Google ads for nonprofits, but I'm curious like for SEO, what that looks like. Is it just like a higher volume of clients, or like did you have a bigger team, or like how do you feel like the way like you do SEO is like different in like that sort of environment?
I think different in the sense of like definitely more clients. I was a more corporate agency, so it was quite a bit more expensive for people to get SEO services, and therefore it was a lot of clients that were able to pay that sort of money. So definitely higher education clients are pretty common, people that do payroll, stuff like that, that could afford that service. But it's also like with bigger clients comes much bigger websites and much bigger technical issues, which is like, that was a good chunk of where my time was focused for SEO, was on like, why is the website maybe not being crawled the best by Google because of A, B, and C technical issues. And it was less focused on like the broader picture of their entire marketing campaign, which is kind of my focus here. So yeah, different in the sense that it was a lot more technical focused, how to basically just make the website perform better, and not necessarily like, I think we prioritize, making sure people are ranking well, there's traffic going to the website, they're getting leads from that traffic. Obviously that was still important at my last agency, but it was also consultancy based. So I wasn't actually implementing the work that I was providing recommendations for. That was kind of the client's role to do what they needed to do for their website, which is, a whole other thing to be like a consultancy based agency, which totally works if you like just don't know what to do and you're just looking for help in terms of, like, I don't know what's wrong with my website, what do I do, I have a team but they don't know. So it was interesting. It's definitely very different to here because obviously we work with much smaller businesses. Their websites are not huge, they don't have tons of technical issues, but they have the same goals as everyone else. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think having agencies that just work on one thing is great, but you really have to be like doing everything nowadays, So like using those multi-channel, aspects of your business is really important. Like I mentioned this a couple quarterly meetings ago, but when clients used to just sign on for like GBP, it really... that's great. Like if you want to improve that, but really like long term, you should be doing SEO, ads, and social media at the same time. Obviously that's expensive, but if you can afford to do it and you can really afford to like take 10 or 15% out of your revenue and like put that towards marketing, which I know is not possible for a lot of small businesses, but it's really important to do that. Especially how SEO and ads like really are like, in a marriage when it comes to rankings and just brand visibility. So I think it's something that clients don't understand all the time is like they just have to pick one or the other when you can do both.
Yeah. I mean, I think again with Google's algorithm taking into consideration more social media and like video content, having a more holistic approach to your marketing.
I know I hit this so many times.
Just turning the microphone. It's so important to have that, all those channels working for you because it's not just about showing up on Google anymore. It's about showing up on different social media channels. Like Google is not the only player in the game anymore. So just solely focusing on SEO you're doing a disservice to your business. Like SEO is important, despite all the people saying that SEO is dead. Yeah. They're wrong. Don't listen to those people. Yeah. But it's all important. It's not just like one area of focus is not going to get you where you need to be.
Yeah. And I almost feel like clients in a way get SEO and ads like mixed up.
Do
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I feel like they think, if I start investing in SEO, I'm going to be seen like at, top of Google more immediate and I'm going to get like more business. And it's like, no, that's not, how that works. It takes time. And with ads, that is possible, but they get it backwards. So they want ads results with like SEO campaigns.
Yeah. And like, the whole thing with SEO is that it's definitely a marathon rather than a sprint. Like, it takes a long time to rank on page one. Sometimes it takes not a lot. Like every industry is different and every business is different and they all perform differently for Google. So, but totally get that people want. Yeah. People want ads results with SEO, which unfortunately is not the case. So, get it all in there. All those things.
Definitely.
Well, moving on to our last little question topic, we want to discuss about some strategies and data specifically. could you maybe talk about a little bit kind of what we track here for ads for clients and like why that data is super important? And then I can jump in a little bit with some SEO stuff.
Yeah. So for ads, we obviously track the leads that our customers are getting from their campaigns. But a lot of times it's unique to them specifically in what they want to track. So whether that's phone calls or form submits, we'll go ahead and do that. But, a lot of the time with SEO and with ads and luckily this will go into my topic for what converts. But a lot of times, customers will invest in things that they actually like have no way of measuring. And I've had a couple of clients even bring up to me like radio ads still, and just really like old school ways of doing marketing. And it's just crazy to me that they would want to do that with like no way to see if it's like working, So yeah, having your conversion tracking in place for your ad campaigns is like super important. It's the only way that you can tell if the campaigns are working. But yeah, we do that through Facebook Metapixel, Google Tag Manager, and then we'll use that data to optimize obviously all of their campaigns. But with what converts, which is coming soon. This is not sponsored. I know we're not supposed to look at the camera.
But they should sponsor us.
With what converts, we will be able to see where all of the leads are coming from, which is huge. And it's also huge because cookie deprecation in the past like year or two has been a big issue with customers and just users in general, not allowing them to be tracked on the internet, just with privacy restrictions. So the way that what converts works is it allows for customers to be identified through like multiple stages of their journey through your website or wherever they decided to find you from, which we kind of learned about yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's super vital that really all agencies have something extra like that to be able to, help clients scale and make sure we can understand their data better as well. So
yeah. And like kind of on the flip side of that, SEO is a little bit more complicated to track progress of, which I've been talking about a little bit with the team about how SEO actually works and how to track that successfully through Google Search Console, which is, I think, probably the best tool outside of GA4 for tracking organic, non-branded clicks and impressions. But yeah, the like return on investment for SEO is such a complex topic to talk about with clients because ultimately there's no like solid and secure way to be like, this is what's getting you leads. Like in the perfect scenario, like obviously what converts helps a lot with determining like where leads come from and if it's from organic, paid, etc. But even, that tool aside, talking about ROI with SEO is just like, it's a gray area with clients where it's like, you should invest in SEO. And why you should invest in SEO is because you're going to get ABC ROI. But that's not like something, we can't guarantee a specific ROI with SEO where for ads you can kind of recommend. Like you might see this with a certain amount of spend.
Yeah. Well, with ads, you can kind of like, you can tweak stuff to make your business like more appealing to obviously get more leads. But and I know we've like all talked about this too, which might be kind of a hard truth, but anyone can rank on page one. Anyone can rank like page one, number one, but that doesn't mean that you're going to, get business right away.
Right.
So that's another thing too, that clients I think have a hard time grasping is like in what I was talking about with Chris, before this is like product market fit. Like what are you actually bringing to the table for your customers too,
right?
Which I think is huge because if you don't have a good business model or you don't have like, your own way of benefiting your customers, then you ranking is not going to, do maybe what they think it's going to do. Not all the time, but sometimes that's what happens.
Yeah. I mean, and to kind of go along that same path, thought path that you just talked about with the ranking number one. Like, ranking number one is great, but if you're not actually getting anyone clicking through to your website for that, what is the point of ranking number one? So just to throw that out there, like there's intention that has to come behind ranking for certain keywords and showing up for certain queries. If you rank number one and it doesn't lead to any clicks, like there's no point to ranking for that other than you rank number one, but you don't get any business from it. So it's just like a fancy, shiny ranking. But yeah, and kind of I finish out my thought with Google Search Console before you finish it up and wrap it up. But great tool for measuring the success of SEO. Obviously, when you're non-branded, clicks and impressions go up. Non-branded meaning without your name in the query, because obviously the whole point of SEO is to get people who do not know about you to go to your website. So branded search is people already know your name. They're searching it and they're going to your website based off of that. That's not really a good indicator of how SEO is working for you. So a great way to measure that specifically for SEO is the non-branded clicks and impressions in Google Search Console. Wanting to see those go up over time. If they're increasing, then SEO is doing what it's supposed to do. So obviously more leads, more revenue, more business, all that all works together.
Yes, it does. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm Amanda.